Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe, and everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates, leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. So it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you're on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. All are welcome on this channel, and all contributions are highly appreciated, okay? Give me one moment. I'll be with you, ladies and gentlemen, in 1 second, okay? Be sure to tell a family, friend, or foe, or you know, to come on over and subscribe to the channel so they can be privy to these spiritual notifications. There is enough space in this place for everyone to be notified, okay? Okay, let's tap into the tarot. Hope you all are doing wonderful, feeling great, magnificent, spectacular, handsome, beautiful, gorgeous, sophisticated, empowered, balanced, grateful, thankful, all those wonderful attributes. Somebody's feeling good because we're starting off with 3 of Cups. Somebody's feeling real good. You know, you could be gathering with friends and family. You could be having a great time right now. This could be a last minute idea. You know, spontaneous fun is the best fun of all. This could be something last minute. You know, maybe you're having some drinks with your family and friends. Maybe you're cooking. Maybe you're having dinner. This could be a last minute little gathering or shindig. This could be maybe out, maybe you're going out with family and friends, or this could be you gathering at your home with people you care about, you know, with your friends, with your family, having a good time, turning on some music, getting some food, you know, and just having a funky good time. So you're in the energy collective of gathering and having a great time. You could have made it a resolution, or you're starting to make it a priority to make sure, no matter what's going on in your life, that you maintain your balance with making sure that you have a good time. All right, we're gonna have a funky good time. We're gonna have a funky good time. We're gonna take you high. Yeah. I don't know the other words, but yeah, you could have made that a resolution. You know, making sure that you have more fun. You know, and you're not, you know, neglecting having fun as well. And so we have the 4 of Swords here, energy. So you've made it a resolution to have fun, have a great time, as well as make sure that you are resting and rejuvenating. Okay. So you're working on more than one area in your life at this time. You know, you're making sure you're relaxing, you're taking care of yourself, and you're also making sure that you're enjoying your life. As you should. Okay, as you should. And you know, you don't have to always spend money. Everything doesn't have to be extravagant. You know, you can have a good time through, you know, last minute. You know, it's just like prepping a meal last minute, not having things planned out. It seems like the food tastes better. There are fun things that you can do at home. It doesn't always have to be extravagant. It doesn't always have to be, you know, going somewhere, spending hundreds of dollars just on one day or one event. You can do a lot of fun things at home with your family, your friends, your children, whomever, or by yourself as well. Okay, whatever your family dynamic is. Yeah. So the next card we have here is Judgment. And on this card here, you see she has ropes around her arms here, but the ropes are tattered and it's like she's breaking free. So, judgment is being called for you to do more when it comes to your life. You could be someone that works long hours as well. Maybe you work two jobs. Maybe you have a job and a hustle. Maybe you work two jobs and you have a family that you care for. But whatever this energy is here, it's time for you to break free, and judgment is being called for you to break free and prioritize your happiness. Prioritize your happiness. So that's where, having fun with family and friends, maybe with your spouse, of someone you're dating, your children, or even just by yourself, and also relaxing and rejuvenating, making sure that you're pouring into yourself. We don't always have to be turned on and busy all the time. We don't always have to be occupied. A lot of us assume and think that to be busy 24/7 and occupied is the way to go. But reality is, having moments of stillness and being reserved and having quality time or taking time to yourself, solitude as well as having entertainment, leisure, fun, and activity is very healthy. All work and no play will make it a dull day. Okay. I even picking up on someone who's having more fun at work. Okay. You're finding ways to have fun at work, you and your coworkers, whether it's cracking a joke or maybe when management isn't around, maybe you're turning on some music and, making work fun, And so we have the Four of Pentacles here. And so you are finding ways to, be more resourceful. As you see these jars of coins is around this person and they're clutching onto this pillow here. So you're coming out with judgment here. You're coming out of having a lack mentality or feeling like your life is, the day-to-day mundane things, go to work, go to sleep, come home, go to work, go to sleep, come home. You're breaking free of that. And that's what these ropes are representing here. You're breaking free of the boredom. You're breaking free of the same old thing. You could also be trying new things, new hobbies, new ways to entertain yourself. And maybe you're also, someone is changing what kind of music they listen to. If you're not changing it, maybe you've picked up a new interest. Maybe you like jazz music. Someone is into jazz. Okay. Neo soul. Someone is into classical music. This could be a new interest that you have. So maybe you're going to go to a jazz concert the next time it's advertised somewhere. And this could be something you've never done before, but you're willing to try something new. Okay. Because you've done the club thing and you want to try something new, something different, to see if it's fun as well. Okay. So we have the Two of Wands here. And so you're basically taking action. You're thinking of a master plan and you're taking action towards living your best life. You're taking action towards the things that you desire. You're no longer making excuses or telling yourself what you can't do. You're taking action to make it happen. If it's a vacation somewhere you wanted to travel, well, you're looking into that, seeing what it's going to cost, traveling expenses, hotel fare. And if money needs to be saved, well, that's what you're doing. You are taking the time to save the money and make the plans necessary. I'm hearing no more excuses. That should be the title of this read. It's like you're like, no more excuses, no more game plan, no more saying you can't do or you don't have. You realize that you are in control and you do have a say so in the life that you live and the things that you desire. And you could also, with this expression on her face here, it's a shocking look. You could be coming to the realization that a lot of moments in your life where you felt hopeless were moments that were turn out to be an illusion. A lot of lies have been told to you and a lot of illusion has been placed upon you, collective. This could be from your upbringing. Maybe this is the way you were raised. Maybe this is energy that someone around you could have been projecting onto you. You share a good idea and maybe that best friend or that sibling or that family member speak against it, tell you what you can't do, what you shouldn't do, and what they heard on the news. And I know somebody else did that and it didn't work, as if you are that person. So, maybe it could be the people that you have been around or have been around you in your life who has projected this energy of lack mentality, of low vibrational state, and it created stagnation in your life. But I see you taking your power back. Mhm. Yeah. So when it comes, with the Page of Pentacles, you're being very mindful, not stingy, not paranoid, not in lack, but you're being very mindful of what's going out, what's coming in. You're making sure that you're saving money. You have something put to the side, a little nest egg or something in case of an emergency. But you're also making sure that you're living your life. You could have like a bucket list of things that you want to do. You could have goals, a list of goals that you want to achieve, and you're actually doing it. You're applying your energy, your currency. I call the energy in your time here on planet Earth, I refer to that as currency. You're applying your currency to yourself. You're no longer allowing outsiders to make you feel like you can't achieve or do something, nor are you telling yourself. Because you could be coming to the realization like, hey, I really can do this. I just need to be mindful of who I share my ideas with. You may be aware of that person that wants you to feel like you are burdened, like you're not capable or able of taking that vacation, or this is the wrong time to travel, or did you hear about inflation, and you're likely to go online and find that ticket to that vacation spot, along with a hotel stay and along with free breakfast. And, you're finding out that it's better for you to trust in yourself. And also when you're planning something, when it comes to progress or rewarding yourself, to simply keep it to yourself, because unfortunately, collective, we live in a world that don't want to see people happy. We live in a world where there's a lot of envious and jealous people, and they will smile in your face, and kiki with you. But behind that smile is a whole lot of iniquity and hatred. It's just the truth. People don't want folks to be happy. Folks take more pleasure when you are sad or mad or feeling down or low. And it's because often those type of people, not all people, but there's a large number of people who move in that kind of energy. And it's because people like to feel like they are superior. They like to feel like they are above someone, and they also like to deflect. Instead of reflect on their own personal problems and issues, they rather deflect. They rather avoid healing themselves and finding their own resolve in their personal lives. And so the best way that a karmic, a hater, or a narcissist, or a low vibrational being can do this is to project negative energy onto a person in particular around them. Or sometimes there are people who do it to people who's around them, period, who try to project onto everyone, because the goal is to break your spirit. The goal is to get you in a sad, sunken place where you no longer believe in yourself. And so you could be reflecting, collective, and being aware. And that's what this is about. I have to hold it up again. Like, that wasn't my energy. I could have been vacationing. That wasn't my energy. Yes, I can buy that house. Yes, I can lose that weight. Yes, I can write that book. Yes, I can start this LLC. People speaking against people whom you share your ideas and your plans with, speaking against it because they wanted to break your spirit, to create blockages and stagnation in your life personally. These are people who want to feel superior, so they're not comfortable being around achievers. People talk a good game. They say they want people to win, but the moment that someone close to them or they know someone who's working on progress or being successful, it becomes a problem. There's a lot of pump faking going on, and I'm not about to sugarcoat it. There's a lot of pretending. Folks pretending like they're happy for people, and they're actually not. They hate to see people thrive. They hate to see people even happy or smiling. And there are people who will try to break your spirit, whether it's by slandering your character, projecting their insecurities onto you, telling you what you can't do, or trying to correct you and make you feel like you're wrong. Maybe when you're communicating with these people, you could be having a general conversation, but every time it's your turn to share what you have to say, they want to downplay it or respond like, oh, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. All of that is psychology. It's psychological. It's a psychological reverse psychology, actually, but it's a psychological mind trick. And if you fall into the game, the gap of the game, they can get you, they can really break your spirit or have you thinking that you're not able or you're not important. And the reality is we all are important. Everyone holds value and everyone matters in this world. It doesn't matter how we feel about them personally. If someone doesn't resonate with us, the best thing we could do as a human being is just simply don't entangle with that person. But everyone has a purpose, everyone is loved, and everyone holds value. But whomever this is who was telling you what you can't do and it's the wrong time to do it, just because they've witnessed someone else have a bad turnout doesn't mean you're going to have a bad turnout. Because what works for one may not work for the other. It may have been the wrong timing for that person of whatever that was. It wasn't divine timing for them to act, but it's your time to act. So be careful moving forward, collective, in life with people whom try to discourage you. Be careful with sharing your plans, your progress. Be careful with sharing even your happiness. A person can see that you're upbeat and you're in high spirits and they can't stand it. And they'll smile at you, even greet you with a hug and a handshake, but it means nothing. Real knows real and fake knows fake. And those who know. Okay, so be careful with that, because I'm picking up heavily here that you're having a reflection moment like, wow, the energy that I've been feeling is not my energy. This is from the people whom I've been sharing my ideas. And these are people that you thought that you could trust. So you're not wrong for that. You're not a terrible person. Everybody makes mistakes, okay? Your life will go on. And what is for you will never pass you by. So with the Knight of Swords, continue taking action towards your goal. The goal for you is to make sure that you're making choices that you feel confident and efficient in, and make sure you keep moving towards the goal at hand. So that's the whole point of this message here. That yes, there will be people who will try you and test you, especially when you're being consistent, in your mission and in your purpose. They say new levels, new devils, but metaphorically speaking, that energy attached to people. People have those spirits attached to them, and they try to stop you because they don't want to make changes in their life, or they don't see themselves in that light. And if you're speaking highly of yourself and sharing your bright ideas, with the Death card and the upright, they don't want you to go through the transformation. They don't want you to have that upgrade. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And these are people or a person whom you trusted, you never thought would feel that way towards you. You thought they would be happy to see you transform your life, But these are people who are in lack and they're low vibrational. They're insecure within themselves. And so they spend their time, when they come across people who are ambitious, they spend their energy trying to break people's spirit, and if you fall for it, you'll go into the darkness, you'll go into the void, but hopefully you go into the void of transforming your life and living your best life and not being concerned about what a hater or a minion has to say. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so leaving it all behind with the Six of Swords, you are now leaving behind that darkness. As she looks at that dark cloud there, you're no longer hanging on to the naysayers. You're not hanging on to those people who want to criticize and critique who you are, where you are, or where you are headed. No one can take your power from you. What is for you will never pass you by. And you must know this, okay? A lot of things that are around us, we live in a simulation of illusions. We all have our own belief system, and that's okay. But don't allow other people to force and project their beliefs onto you, and you know better, okay? And you could also have information and wisdom that is beyond honestly, the knowing of what these people know, and they could also be offended by this. You could be someone who's very intellectually confident, very smart, very wise, very well learned, well versed. You could also speak several languages. Maybe you know how to speak French, and yeah, you could be very smart. You could be someone who likes to learn. You could also be someone who's what do they call that? A self-starter. You're very good at teaching yourself different things. Like if it's something you want to know, you're good at teaching yourself, a self-learner. Okay, if there's a skill or something you want to learn, you're you're likely to do that. You're one of those people. You'll do the research and maybe look at some videos, do some, and you'll get to it, and voila, it's done. You may be known for this. Your family and friends, people who know you, know that you are someone who's a self learner. You have taught yourself a whole lot of things. Okay, someone is a phenomenal cook, whoever you are. Someone is very good when it comes to cooking. People love your cooking as well. Okay. hmm And so with the Queen of Wands here, the Queen of Wands is this is a vibration of taking action. This is a vibration of standing in authority. So you're on a timeline where you're standing in your authority and your power. And the transformation that you are undergoing, male or female, it's being seen on you and also spoken about. People are talking about it. You are the topic of discussion. Even people who have not seen you, in whatever way they can see you, whether it's on social media, you could have a friend in common. And when I say friend in common, maybe you don't socialize with Barbara, but maybe you and Barbara hang out or talk to Jack, and Jack visits Barbara and Jack visits you. You could have a friend in common, and there could be good rapport being spoken about you. Did you see the collective? They're doing wonderful. They're looking great. They're losing weight. Did you hear about this? There could be a lot of positive talk coming from someone in particular, and they're sharing this with maybe someone who doesn't have access to you, collective. And so it could be causing some envy and some jealousy, and this person could be one of those people whom you have confided in over the years, but they were always negative in their opinion of whether you should proceed or not on different ideas that you had. So this could be the friend in common could be communicating with someone who no longer has access to your life. And so, people feel some kind of way, and a person could treat you like scum up under your boot, and talk a lot of ish, tell you you're nothing, nobody's going to want you. They could, speak the lowest and treat you the worst. But the moment that you progress in life or you become successful, those are the same people who want to be a part of that world. And when people can't be a part of your success because they know they have dogged you and they have dog walked you, okay, they have worked you to the bone where they know there's no return. I'm also picking up there are some people who have crossed you in a way, collective, that they know there is no return. They know you will never give them access to your life, but you have a good reason, and spirit is saying they are aware of why. Even if it's never spoken on or discussed, it doesn't have to be, because you're moving forward. The past is the past. There's no need to really go there, especially if there's nothing fruitful there. But there are people, or there's someone who wants to be a part of your current life, and they understand that they will never have access to you. And they know why, without you even having a conversation or, wondering what's in there, this is your confirmation. They know why. People who have wronged you or crossed you, collective, they know why. Don't think they're confused about how you felt, what they done to you. Don't think that. If they come by your home and you don't open the door, they know why. If it's a sunny day or they're in town, some people feel they can just pull up and it's all good, and it's really not. My rule is if I haven't invited you, you're not welcome. I don't care who you are. If I haven't invited you, you're not welcome, and you're being disrespectful. So you treat unwelcome people like an unwelcome guest. That's how you do, because like attracts like. So you treat an unwelcome person like an unwelcome guest. And so I'm picking up that energy. Someone may want to like pull up on you, or thinking that it's all good. Maybe there was a time back in the day. This could also be an ex-lover or someone you dated in the past where you went back and forth. It happens. Maybe you hook up with this person and have encounters with them from time to time, but that part of you has surpassed, it has dissipated, it does not exist. And it doesn't matter whether you're in a relationship, married, single, you're just no longer entertaining their presence. You're no longer interested. But there could be someone who has a mindset, even though they have not talked to you, collective. And it sounds weird, but this is how diabolical people are, because they carry the energy of entitlement. They feel like they are entitled to your energy as long as they know that you are alive and thriving, and that's far from the truth. And those are the people who learn the hard lessons. So there is someone you no longer deal with, and it's been many, many years, and they know that they've crossed you. They know why you don't want to be bothered with them, but they feel as long as you're thriving and you're alive that they have access to you. And reality is they don't. You're not interested. It's here in the read. That's why I'm talking like this. This is the message. You're not interested. So if you're watching Cross Watcher, they're not interested. They are over you. They have moved on. You're not interested. They're not interested. Collective just not interested. Okay. They have moved on. So there's no need to be confused about anything. The past in the past. And you may say to yourself, oh, well, back in the day, I used to be able to pull up and woo, 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 woo. Well, not today, and not on any day moving forward. So you might as well act like water and move on. Kick rocks, throw bubbles, spit dust, because the collective is just not interested. They're just not. And yes, it is funny. And it's all because, it's a new day, a new dawn, and they're just not interested. The vibration that they are on, the frequency the collective is on, does not match any nonsense. It does not resonate with messing with people who have already had access to them. It does not resonate with people from the past who have fumbled them. It does not resonate with needing to have a conversation that, just holds no value. It's time to just move on. Okay. And so that's what it is. There is someone who's actually, and I've never picked that up, but it's coming through so strong. There is someone who wants to be part of your life from your past. Sounds like and feels like some retrograde energy, and we do have retrograde coming up. Someone wants to approach you. They want to pull up to your house, and they want to come just spontaneously. And so I'm picking up, maybe in the past they allowed this, or you allowed this and it was okay, but that was back then. This could have been 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. This is somebody in reality that whatever they have going on currently, it's not working. So you know how folks do when they get bored. A person could have been and got married and had 20 or 50 or 100 kids. As soon as they get bored or they fall out and their life ain't right, oh, let me go to social media, see can I find so and so. People get bored. I'm using that as an example, but people really do that. Yeah, you can troll, you can search, but that doesn't mean the person is interested. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean the person is interested. They may not even want to see you or talk to you, but Spirit is saying, whoever this person is, this is someone whom you had a negative falling out with. So this is not, your high school crush who, never got a chance to smash and you wish you would have let them smash. Yeah, I just said that. This is not that, it's not that person. This is somebody who you actually had a connection with, and they've had their time with you, male or female. They had their chance to experience you, and they fumbled. They didn't appreciate it when they had it, and you moved on. But they're somewhere because their life isn't where they want it to be, and they're unhappy. They want to come, oh, let me go see what the collective is doing. No, you don't want to go see what the collective is doing. The collective is busy, and the collective, may not even answer the door. Somebody else may answer the door, and it may not be nice. Surprise with the tower energy. See, it may not be nice. You know what I'm saying? You might be expecting a feminine voice and you get a male masculine voice, get out my yard kind of energy. What do you tell them on Home Alone? I'll give you 10 seconds to get your yellow, Keisha. When old boy had them firecrackers by that door. Oh boy, I'm thinking of the Home Alone scene with Macaulay Culkin. Get off my yard, get off my porch, and you'll be surprised. Don't pull up on nobody uninvited because you're gonna get that uninvited treatment. I'm just warning you. If you got plans to try to spontaneously surprise somebody, don't do that. If you connect with someone from your past and they agree to meet with you, that's different. But popping up where you ain't welcome, you don't know what kind of changes. I spoke on this before. Nobody knows what nobody is doing when we bend the corner or we turn our back. That's in everyday life. But when you have not been in connection with somebody, and especially if you had a negative rapport with them, you damn sure you don't do that. Don't hurt your own feelings. Don't break your own spirit. Don't do that. It's just a waste. It's not worth it. Mm-mm. You don't know what you're pulling up on. You don't know what you're walking into. Don't let because you didn't had a drink or you buzzing. Oh, I'm about to be brave. No, that's like drunk texting. An ex as well. That's just something you just don't do. So this isn't. Once again, I don't want y'all to get it confused. This isn't somebody who you wanted to give a shot and it just never happened. No. You can keep that fantasy in your head and play with it or do whatever you do. This is somebody who you had a connection with, a relationship, and it didn't work out, and it didn't work out because they was foul, they was rude, they were disrespectful. Possibly a excessive cheater, just everywhere. They got cheating and they got the cheater. Cheating and the cheater, one of them partners who just gotta just be everywhere with everybody. This is one of those energies, and was very bold with it. They had a lot to give. They had a lot to give, and they was just giving it to everybody. And it was a game. When you were in their life, it was a game. It was a joke. So they need to keep that same energy. But see, now they want to be a part of your life. Things have changed. Basically, collective, wherever the status was between you and this person when you initially broke up, and that person that crossed your mind, that's who I'm talking about. Doesn't matter how long ago it has been, because I'm picking up this person is going through something in their life personally that has them in darn near a state of depression. Okay, they could be going through a separation, a divorce, some kind of hardship, just something that's making them uncomfortable. And so possibly, confirmation with the belch. And so possibly when you broke up with this person or the last time you talked to them, you were not in this King of Cups energy. This is abundance, prosperity. This is authority. This is confidence. This is living the life right here. You were not in this energy. You were in an energy where you needed to have this moment of judgment, but you were possibly living out of your shadow side, which happens. We date people, we meet people, and things don't work out, but that is just preparation for you to meet the right person. So who they see you as now, they're very shocked. Male or female. There's no gender in tarot, okay? They're very shocked at what they're seeing. You're looking great, smelling great, your life is good, you're living good, everyone can see it. And it's not because you're trying to prove a point or you're showing off. It's simply you are living in your purpose. You've went through the transformation, whether this is losing weight, whether this is healing, whether this is getting counseling. This could be graduating college, having a successful career. This could be getting married, or you could be single and dating, but you're still not interested in this person. This could also be someone who, when you broke up with them, they chose someone else over you. They could have been very arrogant and haughty in this process as well, where it puts you into a state of depression. It puts you into a state of sadness, and you thought you would never overcome. But the tables have turned. See, trouble don't last always, and it's okay to separate from people because people do outgrow each other. But I'm picking up this person was very haughty. They were very arrogant. when they was in a relationship with you, very nasty. Instead of coming to you, just let you know they weren't ready to be in a relationship with you, because Spirit is saying that's all they had to do. Instead, they could have ended it, with the Six of Swords confirming twice here. They could have ended it on a positive note to allow you to just move on. But you may have caught this person with someone, okay, like caught them with another person, male or female. You may have caught this person, and they may have done it deliberately, to try to hurt you on purpose, intentionally. Something about some kind of resentment. This could be a person that has some kind of resentment or hatred towards you. And so they didn't care about breaking your heart or hurting your feelings. And what's happening now, they are the one crying into a pillow. And they never thought the day would come where the tables will turn. That's why you got to be careful how you treat people. It's okay to separate, but the method that this person done this to you, it created a burden for you. It was very hurtful. So this person chose someone else over you, and the person they chose no longer wants them. I almost said something else. No longer wants them. Let me drink some water. No, so the illusions are being clear. They're no longer arrogant or haughty. They thought they was this and that, and now they no longer are. This is the message collective. And you know what? I've never gotten a message like this out of all the readings. I've gotten it like this, but the way it's coming through, like, it's very clear. Your ancestors want you to know. And even if you say you don't care, it's something about, it's your justice. I wouldn't be shocked if justice come out here. It is your justice, collective, to know the truth, or to see some kind of karma. It is your justice, they're saying. You may not want to see it or hear about it. And this person is suffering, and the illusions, they're being revealed. Everything they did to you is happening to them, like tenfold. The sadness, if they had you sad or depressed over this breakup, if you caught them cheating with someone, well, they caught the person they left you with cheating with someone. And I'm hearing more than once. If they were talking down to you, maybe trying to body shame you, the person they left you for body shames them. Real talk, male or female. It's like they're like, it's coming in folds, and they're constantly having these tower moments that they have tried to suppress and keep to themselves. But now they know when they see you and also hear about you, because there's someone who knows you or sees you, and there's somebody speaking good about you. Somebody is saying some good things about you. You look good, you fine, you sexy, you handsome, whatever you are, you're pretty, something. You got a fat rump, whatever. Somebody's complimenting you, like for real. Okay. And they know that you're in the energy of celebrating, and they want to celebrate with you. And after all the diabolical, dark, cold-hearted treatment, the nerve. But this is how low this person has gone down. Their life is not where it was when you last saw them, spoke to them, or broke up with them. And no, I'm pretty sure you're not happy to hear about that. You really don't care, but it's something about, it's your justice. That's what they're saying. For you to see and know that anything you have experienced, collective, in this relationship, particularly, ooh wee, mm, mm. This could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. A Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. That's the download. A Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. I was trying to avoid saying it. They're making me say it, like, bring it. Gemini, and if they, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, those are all air signs. Aquarius is the water barrier. They could have it any placement, sun, moon, or rising in their birth chart. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, okay? But this person was very cold and malicious towards you. And, now they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to connect and figure it out, but it's not happening. It's not happening with the Hangman. They're trying to connect, and they could know also that this is their karma. They could know this, like, this is what I did to somebody. Maybe I'm reaping this because, I broke up with that person with the collective, but I could have did it in a different way. I'm picking up that they intentionally tried to embarrass you, or hurt you intentionally when they could just told you, you know what, it's over and went their way. They drug out. Actually, they drug out a process that could have just been a 5 minute phone call or a 5 minute conversation. You know what? It's over. We breaking up. Go your way. I go mine. Yeah, they, yeah. They played the game, like, beat it up, eat it up, and, and then I see you later, then maybe not come home the next day, or you don't hear from them, and you're under the assumption that you're still in a relationship because you were just with this person the night before. That kind of energy collective, like a lot of game playing, yeah. Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. And so you are looking like the magician. They are shocked because they misjudged you. But you know what? People, and what I'm about to say applies to everybody in the world. Doesn't matter who you are or what your zodiac is. People feel and think that change is impossible. Folks say they believe in a higher power, but I often wonder, the ones who claim that they believe in a higher power, and doesn't matter what your belief system is, all are welcome on this channel. Let me get some water before I say this. God knows what he is doing. The divine knows what he is doing. Our benevolent ancestors know what they are doing. Once they transition from here and they leave the avatar, they can see in spaces and places that we can't collective. And people are shocked, or they like to accuse people of being phony and not real and not true and not authentic, because when I was with that person, they was in that dark place. Change is possible for any and all people. And just because you knew someone and they weren't in their highest doesn't mean it's not possible for them to transform their life. And because the Most High, the divine, can see in spaces and places ahead of time, even thoughts and people plotting and planning and strategizing against you, Spirit knows. And one thing that the divine and your benevolent ancestors will not do is reveal or show your pot of gold to someone who isn't worthy to sit at your table. One thing the divine will not do and your benevolent ancestors will not do is show or expose your pot of gold to someone who does not have pure intentions regarding you. Source will never show and reveal your divine purpose or plans to someone who is not worthy of you, or someone who has diabolical thoughts about you in their mind. Spirit is so powerful. Source is so powerful, omnipresent, and can see in spaces and places that the human eye cannot reach, in other realms and other dimensions and other things taking place that we are unaware of. So don't feel or think because you meet someone and they're not at their highest point in life, or they're not where you want them to be, that a person is not capable of changing their life. You can meet someone who's homeless today and can be a millionaire or a billionaire by next week. God is that good. The universe is that plentiful. Don't ever, 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 ever get it twisted. Don't ever think that change is not possible, or just because you don't like or love someone, that the divine, that God does not love this person, that they don't have a divine purpose. People really feel and think that just because they don't want this person to have a prosperous life, just because they want to see someone having tower moments, because they may have maternal issues or unhealed trauma, and they've chosen to pretend that they're in a loving relationship when actually they're just vamping energy from their spouse, and they're really not mature enough or ready to even be on that level. And so they go from mate to mate and breaking hearts and creating pain, when deep inside, that's not player energy. That's a broken spirit. That's someone that is emotionally and spiritually disheveled. It does not matter what state a person is or was in when you knew them. Whether it was yesterday, last week, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, it does not matter. Change is always possible. Change is always possible. It does not matter if when you knew this person, they were broke. This person, like I said, could be wealthy. It was not meant for you to know where they was going at the time, because you were not worthy of the blessing and the favor that was being placed in their life. When they were dating you and when you knew them in their shadow side, they were being prepared. That was preparation for the blessing. Be mindful of being critical and condemning people who you see go through a lot of repetitive, dark circumstances. Those are warriors. Those are people being prepared, preparation for the blessing. Some make it to the goal, some may not. But be mindful of condemning those who you see go through hardships in life. And then you look up and you see that the sibling that you pin roses on, with family members too. There are families who will choose to have favoritism in between siblings, in between grandchildren, in between children, nieces, nephews, family members. And the one they pin roses on ends up crossing them. But the black sheep, the one they mistreat, the one they didn't invite to the party, ends up creating a party for their damn selves. And all of a sudden, folks want to show up. But uninvited guests get uninvited treatment. It is confusing, and it's disrespectful to the divine to feel or think that change is not possible for someone just because you don't want them to have progress in their life. Oh, that's an ex. I'm mad at them. I don't want them to be prosperous, so it ain't gonna happen. That's not how life works. What is for you, collective, will never pass you by. If it's meant for you to be great and you're doing the work, you will be great. If it's meant for you to be successful, you will be successful. If it's meant for you to be a supermodel, you will be. If you're going to be world renowned, you will be. If you're going to be healthy, you will be. Long as you're doing the work, no one can take your power. No one can take away what's written in the stars for you. It doesn't matter how long or how many years or what your age is that you've been in darkness or fighting to get to the top or fighting to get away from that karmic ass family or that negative diabolical relationship that was unhealthy. Doesn't matter. Time and age has nothing to do with it. You don't need permission to be great. You don't have to ask to be great. Once you choose to take a step to walk away from people, places, and things that are not for your highest good, you take a step, divine will take another step. You take a step, 2 more steps will be taken for you. Things will be strategically placed in your path. Like attracts like. That energy will be matched when you're doing the work. Things will flow onto you, be added onto you out of nowhere, even from total strangers, people you don't know. You never know where your gold lies. And that applies to a lot of areas. So if you're shocked, you're shocked because the collective is doing wonderful and they are very happy. You thought that, and I picked up at the beginning, maybe this person even told you that, nobody's going to love you. Nobody wants you. That turned out to be a lie. Like they say on the Murray Show, and that was a lie. We took a test, and that was a lie. You found your strength. You've taken your power back. and the connection that you had with this person who wants to come trotting themselves back to you, you know, they were just a word in a sentence, a page in a book, a sentence in a paragraph, a leaf in the wind. You know, I'm picking up on an ex that was very verbally abusive to someone, male or female. Verbally abusive. Saying very hurtful things, trying to constantly break your spirit. And you may have been in love with this person because you was at a point in your life where you didn't know any better. And that happens. That's a part of learning and growing. But never again, that'll never happen again. That's just an experience to prep you and prepare you. And look at you now. The same person that was kicking you and thought it was funny, they're now in regret. They're in full regret. I started off the reading with sharing that you're having fun now. You know, you're resting and rejuvenating. You know, you're resting and you're rejuvenating. You're making sure you're taking care of yourself. This could be manicures, pedicures, facials, haircuts, you know, working out, listening to nice music, laughter, affirmations, prayer, going to church, maybe counseling. This could be a lot of things. Okay, you're making sure you have fun. You're doing this on a regular basis. Yes, you're working to provide for yourself, but you're making sure that you have fun. You're doing things within a balance. You know, and with the Knight of Cups, who said that you're not lovable? You know, that person was the wrong person. You know, if they were telling you nobody's going to ever love you, turns out that was a lie. That was a lie. You was just with the wrong person. You know, you are a hot commodity. You are a catch. And you will be the one who got away. This person will never say it, but they think it and feel it every day of their life. This person could also be dreaming about you, collective. Dreaming about you and fantasizing about you. Real talk. In all kind of ways, even a nasty way. Dreaming about you and fantasizing like the nerve, like the nerve. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. There's a lot of people interested in you. Turns out them saying no one would ever love you or want you, that was a lie. Look at the Knight of Cups from 2 different decks. And I didn't have to search for it. It's right here. Boom, boom. Confirmation. You better know that you are special, collective. Enjoy this new timeline. Enjoy your life. Continue to have fun, taking care of yourself. But you have free will to do what you want. But I will not give this person from your past any access to you. They don't deserve you. They're not worthy of you. They're not worthy. They're not worthy of you, collective. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You're foreign territory. They don't know you and they're not worthy. They're not even worthy even to speak to you. That's the message. You know, so keep your sword in the upright position. With authority, continue moving forward and stay on your throne. This person has no conversation after all they have put you through. They thought it was a kiki and a ha-ha, and turning out, that was just preparation. Them experiencing you was preparation. And like I said, it's okay to break up with someone if you're not interested, but it's the way you go about doing things. And this person is really I'm picking up, which is really crazy. They're mad that you're happy, collective. They're not with you. They have moved on, but the person they moved on to don't even want them no more. Like, seriously. They probably was living with their spouse in the house, but now they could be, on their mom's couch or in the guest room, swinging their feet up under the cover, trying to find something to do. Kind of energy. Like they're a teenager all over again. That's for somebody. It's coming up so clear. They could be sitting in a blank room with just a mattress and a blanket, trying to find themselves. And I'm not making mockery, but that's the message and that's what I see. And they sitting here thinking about you and wanting to call you and hook up with you, or want to get in touch with you and what you doing. And this could be, and I don't know, because this has been like some time ago, like, and this person had somebody like to be focused on the collective like this, but Spirit said this is like their karma. Everything they've done to you, they're experiencing it, but they're like getting double doses of whatever you felt. If it took you maybe 4 years to get over this person, it may take them 8 to get over you. If they cheated on you the entire relationship, where whoever they with cheated on them twice as much, maybe 3 times as much. That kind of energy. And so with the Ace of Pentacles here, this is representing, the universe. The universe is plentiful. And I must say again, God is not going to reveal to a minion, a hater, someone with impure intentions who is not worthy. They're not going to reveal an empress to you. No one's going to reveal an empress to the devil. It's not going to happen. Now, it was meant for you to date the collective if you're watching Cross Watcher. And you know who you are if you took somebody through there, took them through there. But it was meant for you to date them for an experience. It was just an experience to show them what not to tolerate. What not to do. Like, okay, this is what we not finna do. Kind of energy. The collective is only dealing with reciprocity, not anyone who's lurking and searching to use and be a leech and sabotage and break their spirit or make them feel insecure and antagonize and project their narcissistic tendencies onto them. The collective is not dealing with that. That's old energy. That is done. Who they were when you knew them, they are not today. And each and every day, we all change, collective. All of us do. Or cross watchers, however you title yourself while you're viewing this. We all change each and every day of our life. We change in ways that we don't notice. So whoever you were back then, you are not now, especially if this is someone you dated maybe when you were like in your early 20s or something like that. You darn sure, like, come on, I'm pretty sure you didn't have birthdays. I'm pretty sure, things, you have had a life and they have had a life too. You got to be cray-cray if you really think that the collective is who they used to be back then. No. Folks ain't sitting on the porch no more. They don't even do that. That's for somebody. That's a synchronicity for somebody. Folks don't sit on the porch no more. They don't even do that. If they're outside, they're probably in their backyard. They're not on the front porch. They don't do that. People are changing. They are progressing. They're moving different. They're doing things different. You can't pull up something about somebody pulling up with drinks. No, you can't pull up with their favorite drink. The collective may not even drink anymore or smoke anymore. That's what somebody need to hear that. All those things, all the tricks and the trades that you used to be able to do with the collective, that ain't working no more. That's not working. So there's nothing you can offer the collective but to stay where you are. Because they're just not interested. That's all. They're not interested. And I would say to a cross watcher, the best thing you could do in a situation like this, like if there's an ex that you're craving like that, if it's for sexual reasons, that's not real feelings. That's an illusion. That's fake. But if it's for reasons beyond that, the best thing you could do if you mistreated someone and you regret how you treated them, but you're not welcome, they don't want access, the best thing anybody could do, male or female, is the next person you get into a relationship with. Be authentic, keep it real, and treat them better. Be authentic, keep it real, and treat that next relationship better. Because you can't force someone to have you into their life and they didn't already gave you time and you didn't appreciate it. So you have to go somewhere and work on yourself. Become a student of yourself. Find some healing for yourself. Collective has walked away. You see all them cups tipped over? It's over. Nobody's carrying emotions. All those cups are being emptied, and there's one in her hand. This is it. No more. No more. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Never Again. Go listen to Never Again by Lovely Mimi on YouTube. Listen to her song, Never Again. Shout out to Lovely Mimi. Go check her video out. Never Again, Never Again. Check her out. Yep, Lovely Mimi. Never Again. That's how the collective feel. Listen to the lyrics of that song. Never Again. Congratulations, collective. You know how many people spend their time treating themselves like an evolving door, like an escalator? You like, you've been there, done that. You're not doing that no more. You're not doing that no more. It's over with. The ship has sailed. They can wait and wonder and wait and wonder and wonder and wait and wait and wonder and wonder and wait and wait and wonder and wonder and wait. And they're just gonna wait and wonder and wonder and wait. Because that ship has sailed. It's not you turning. Yeah. Can't even kick it no more, for sure. Judgment. No. It's a wrap. Change your name to Saram because it's a wrap. This is your justice. For this ex to be in their feelings, yearning you, fantasizing about you, dreaming about you, and they cannot have you. They are not invited to the party. I don't care what they hear or see about you. Somebody is famous or world renowned, or your life is headed in that direction. You may not be there now, but your life is headed in like a direction of popularity. Whatever it is you do is headed somewhere where you're going to be well known. This is your justice, and they are not invited. And they want to be part so bad, because the energy you are in now, they expected you to be in this energy back then, but they can't tell you what timeline to be on or nothing about your divine purpose. They're here on planet Earth just like you are, finding their way. You were finding your way and coming into yourself. And so possibly the person that they chose over you, maybe they had more money than you or materialism than you. And so this person could have vacated the relationship or abandoned you, collective, based on materialism, which is temporary pleasure. It'll never suit the soul. So when those things fade and facade in a connection, that's when, a lot of couples find friction, especially even in marriages. When you marry someone for materialism, for what they have, their house, their car, what's in their bank account, you can connect with a person who's got it going on, but can you match their energy? If you're not able to help them maintain that lifestyle or match what they are bringing to the table, eventually, whether it's a marriage or a living spouse situation, that union, that's something being built on a faulty foundation. It's not real or authentic. If someone is linking up with you and want to marry you or call you their boo thing because of what you have, that's building something on a faulty foundation. So it's not stable. And that's why they're not with that current person, whomever they left you for. They may have people who they in and out the bed with. Whoop-de-doo, we know that's meaningless, right? But it wasn't stable. It wasn't built on authenticity. It was fake. It was a facade. This could be someone who's materialistic as well. This could be someone who's moved by, being able to wear name brands or something. Maybe this person, male or female, also presented this person with gifts. Maybe they took care of them, and maybe you didn't. Maybe you just didn't play that ish, male or female. You probably like, I'm not taking care of Ninja, a Ninja taking care of me. Okay, maybe that's the kind of man or woman that you are. But this person who they chose over you was doing the reciprocal of what you were doing. But what happened was it slapped them in the face, because as they moved forward after they chose this person, they could not match their energy. So what? They have a big house. Can you pay that mortgage? Yes, they have three different cars to drive. Can you cover the insurance for all three vehicles? Type ish. You see what I'm saying? Yes, you go out to dinner every weekend, but are you going to put the credit card on the table this time? You have to be able to match that energy, so it makes no sense to cling on to what somebody else got going on. You have to really get your own, and this person could have been spoiling them. At the beginning, everything is great. Everything is good at the beginning. It's like a juicy peach or some of those globe grapes, or juicy watermelon, or what other fruits that I like, agave, it's like a juicy piece of fruit, it's always good and juicy at the beginning, and they started buying gifts, but then when they wanted gifts in return, your ex couldn't reciprocate the energy that was being distributed to them. And so that's the fun fact about that. And yes, I am laughing because they thought they were doing something. And this person got rid of that ninja, male or female, got rid of them because they found out, wait a minute, they done left their ex for me. I should have never linked up with this ninja anyway. Basically, they both played themselves collective. Because the person they left you for regret even messing with them. And then, and don't want them anymore. And everything that they done to you was done to them. They were not able to match this person. It could have also been several arguments and disagreements over finances and money. Maybe when this person took them around their family, family call it out. Don't have an uncle or brother, one of those wise men in the family, and you trying to bring a male or female, you trying to bring somebody around, one of them family members, they'll call it out. This ninja ain't got no money, do they? And so all this time they thought they was doing something to you, and actually they were doing nothing at all. So, oh, what a well that we weave. Spirit is saying, oh, what a well that we weave. This person weaved a well that they regret. They are embarrassed. They're up in age. This person could be in their late 30s, 40s, maybe 50, 51, 52, something like that, like up middle age, up in age, but they're embarrassed. And not because of the age, but they feel because of their age and where their life was prior to currently, people see and know. And when I say embarrassed, they're like by their family and their friends, people who know them personally, they are embarrassed. They are embarrassed, They are embarrassed to the point, if you are watching this and this resonate, and say that you chose to meet up with this ex, and you probably said, I wouldn't if I was you. And I usually don't tell y'all that, but I wouldn't. I would not. And you say, you know what? I'm going to go out to lunch. I'm going to go out to dinner. I'm going to go, don't go have a drink, because you don't do it. They would most likely lie to you about the conditions of their life. This person would lie to your face. If you were to say, oh, so how you doing? Are you married? You have any children? This person would lie to you about their current conditions. They are not going to be honest. They are embarrassed. They are embarrassed collective. Yes, I'm laughing. Yeah, because that's what I'm seeing. Everything they done to you was done to them 2 or 3 times more. And they could not match this person's energy. They had you like these. You were very sad and heartbroken, and you may have been embarrassed, but now they are embarrassed. They are embarrassed. And nobody really wants to deal with them. There are people who know. There's a lot of people who know, but you may not know. They're embarrassed. You see how she's holding her head and she's crying? They're embarrassed. This is the Five of Cups. And this person could have been talking ish while you were going through your separation. I'm leaving them because they don't got this. They don't got this. Well, who you with don't want you because you don't have anything to offer. Basically, they can't match them. They can't match them. They can't. They have nothing to bring to the table. Nothing to bring to the table. With the Queen of Pentacles here, this is someone very abundant, also that they were with. This is somebody who could be also from a family that has money, like a legacy, some kind of family that like has a family business, a family brand, or a lot of people with prestigious careers, PhDs, doctorate degrees, and and they thought they were doing something. This is the kind of energy that gives birth to new ideas and prosperity, and they got with this ninja and they felt embarrassed, and that's why they kicked them to the curb. This could be a marriage or a situation where they moved in with them and, tried to create like a family setting. And your ex could not pull their end of the bargain. And they couldn't even meet them halfway. They couldn't even meet them halfway. So, yeah, this could be someone who's not accustomed to, how can I say this? This is somebody who's not accustomed to working collective. I'm just going to say it. Maybe they're used to hustling. But this person who they left you for is someone, a good example is maybe when they last saw you, you had a 2-bedroom house the last time you spoke to them. I'll give you an example of what I mean. And this person that they chose over you, this abundant person here, who's successful, has a great career, could have a 60-bedroom home that they live in and they own or they're buying and they're independent. They're by themselves. So it's not that you're a bum or you were broke. You're in a 2-bedroom. This person has a 6-bedroom. So if your ex is coming from a relationship where the responsibility is a 2-bedroom home, and the new relationship and they move in with the person, it's a 6-bedroom home, that means there's more responsibilities. That means there's more finances that need to be put on the table. That means the providing has to increase. That means the money has to increase. And this is very Pacific. This is Pacific. And they thought, oh, I got one. I got me one. Yeah, they have it, but do you have it? And this person got with your ex and found out they just don't have it. And they never did have it and didn't plan on getting it. And now the tables are turned and you are in this energy, but without your ex. And they know about it and they want to be part of it. And if you're not there yet, remain optimistic. There's something that you are building and creating, that is happening for you. And they want to be a part of it so bad, so bad. Spirit is saying, leave them where they are. This is your justice to know what's going on with this ex. You could have been having dreams about them as well. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when people are thinking about you, you may dream about them or they may cross your mind. Okay. That doesn't mean that they can activate anything in you. I know you guys hear about rituals, but there's more to it than that. Okay. There's more to it than that. So you may be dreaming about them, but you're dreaming about them because your ancestors, and this is confirmation, they're saying it's your justice. They want you, they want you to see this person get their karma for how they treated you. because this person tried to intentionally embarrass you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In a very cold, malicious way. A very cold way. Whether this was sleeping with family members, whether this was you catching them in the bed with somebody, whether this was them stealing from you. This is like a lot of things happen between you and this person. And like I said, for the audacity for them to want to even, you mean like they should be ducking and dodging you, not trying to look you up. Like, how is the conversation gonna go after such? With the Seven of Wands here, this person is constantly watching their back, and they don't trust anyone, and they don't know from day to day what's what. Okay, they have nothing going on, collective, but they know that you are abundant. They know that you are in your purpose. Hmm. People can sense, they can feel it, they can smell it. Prosperity, greatness, money, something positive on the horizon. People feel and know these things. It's not rocket science. You don't even have to say nothing. A person can look at you and tell, oh, that's that one right there. Yeah, that's it. Thumbs up emoji. Your spirit is saying for you to keep going, collective, and don't look back. There's nothing new that this person has to say to you. Okay. This person could have also had family members at the time who also tried to maybe discourage the connection, I'm hearing. Okay, that's for a few of you. That's not for all of you. Maybe there was a family member that didn't like when they witnessed this person showing you any kind of respect or love. You know how relationships have ups and downs, good points and bad points. Well, if there was a good point, for instance, maybe this person bought you some flowers. Maybe they had like a sister or a cousin or a relative or even their parents. Why are you doing that? Or I'm hearing there were family members who had a disdain for you. They would express how they did not like you or something like that to this ex as well. So there was family intercepting, being very opinionated about you, whether they should be with you. Maybe they even encourage them to break up with you. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, they also encourage deceitful behavior. You could have been dating someone who was pretending to live somewhere, and in reality, they were living probably with another man or woman. Okay. And maybe the family helped facilitate or hide this secret. That's for somebody. So the family was helping, like, to support. How could I say? The family was condoning deceitful behavior, collective. They was condoning it. So this probably would be like a lonely sister or something, or a lonely aunt. Picking up female energy. I don't know, a lonely ass mother. One of them family members just bitter, and don't have nothing but door cell batteries and time to get in everybody's mix. And so this could have been someone encouraging deceitful behavior, when that's something you shouldn't encourage, because really, when it comes to romantic connections, there are people who have been hurt in other ways. We hear about it on the television, on news each and every day. And that is something you shouldn't encourage. If you have a family member, a sibling, or a child who's in a relationship and they don't want that person, the best thing you can do is encourage them to go ahead and break up with that person. Be honest with them and let it go and cut all ties. But it can be very risky, to encourage such behaviors. But I'm picking up that the family, this is for somebody Pacific, was helping and condoning your ex, pretending like they were like living with their mom, or I don't know, a family member, and really in reality they did not live where you thought they lived. They lived with someone else. They were in a relationship. Okay, that's for somebody. Yeah, the nerve of people. I know, I know. It's a new day and it's a new dawn. No more confusion. No more confusion. Okay. They could also have family members who are looking you up and chatting about you and hating as well. They family members, maybe they're trolling. Maybe you're on social media and they're trolling your page. Okay. Trying to throw some shots. Oh, and they don't like it. They don't like it. They don't like it. They wanted you to remain in that setting. No, that is not real. They want you to remain in that old energy. That stuff is old. That is not, no. Nothing lasts forever. Okay? The sun is shining on the collective. Okay? This is a high card in tarot. This is fulfillment. This is joy. This is new energy. This is a fruitful situation here. Someone could be expecting a child, maybe having a boy. Maybe you don't know that you're expecting, or someone around you is having a baby boy. Congratulations. But either way, with the sun energy here, I'm gonna put that in the middle because the sun is just shining on you. I'm smiling ear to ear because this is a funny read. Like, dang, the family condoning. Let's pretend like you live here, but I don't live here. What the fuck? That's bananas. That is crazy. All that old energy is gone. It's dissipated. Someone can have Scorpio placement somewhere in their chart. Okay. All right. The transformation has taken place. These death cards both came out in the upright. This transformation has taken place. No one is able to block it or stop it. The tables have turned, and so now it's time for them to be on the reciprocal end of what they have been dishing out to the collective. That's all. It's prize winning times, and this is their prize. With the Nine of Swords, this is their prize. Yeah. And so you have learned how to maintain your balance. You've gained a lot of wisdom out of this situation, out of this relationship. You have not walked away empty handed. You're walking away with your hands full of love, prosperity, abundance, favor, lots of opportunity. It's consistent. You have people around you who are giving you reciprocity, not just romantically, but in relationships, period. Even if it's a business partnership, this could be a friendship. You are, full circle maintaining, doing things and living your life within a balance. And you have your courage with the Fool card here. You have your courage. You don't have low self-esteem. Maybe you was in that relationship. Maybe this person, maybe it did a 1-2 on your self-esteem, but you now know who you are and you're standing in your power and you're doing great. So continue the work because all the work that you are putting in, it's being seen and shown. There go that energy. And so I said, this reading is about a Libra, a Gemini, and Aquarius. And, there's Libra right there. Could have Taurus in your chart. This is Venus energy here. Very sensual. You could be someone very appealing. You're in touch with your sensual side, very confident. You could be someone who likes to dress very sexy as well. Okay. Very sexy. I'm getting up. It don't even matter whether you're married in a relationship or at home by yourself. I'm talking about the kind of person, you possibly would put on some lingerie just because. It's a beautiful day. I'm just going to walk around the house and put on some lingerie kind of energy. Not because you're prepping for somebody coming over. That's just who you are. That's that Venus energy. You're someone who takes very good care of yourself as well. Smelling good, looking good, male or female kind of energy. You love beautiful things. Libras love beautiful things. They love clothes. They love to dress. They love to dress. They love beautiful things. They like things that uplift their environment. Wherever they live, wherever they're sleeping, their space, where they hang. It could be an office. This could be at work as well. You may even have things set up at work on your desk that is just different or unique. Okay, you're that person, someone coming to your cubicle or to your desk, you might have a water fountain and your coworkers might be looking like, where the water fountain come from, Libra? You're like, oh, this is just what I do. Kind of energy. But either way, this reading here, just look at that. Look, Libra, didn't I tell you this your justice? Look at this. Look at this. Somebody come over here. Look at this. Look at you, Libra. This is your justice. Spirit ain't playing. God ain't playing. This is your justice. We got justice out here twice. I keep messing these cards up and fixing these cards up and messing these cards up and fixing these cards up. But this is your justice. It's out here twice. It's out here twice. This is it's meant for this person, even if they were to find somebody and marry them, have a baby, what it don't even matter. You will always be the one that got away, the one they messed over that they will regret. And no matter who they are with, you will be on their mind and in their hearts. This is part of their karma, you know. So whether you choose to give this person access or not, Libra, that's up to you. But I wouldn't. And I usually don't tell y'all what to do because it's none of my business and I shouldn't do that. But I wouldn't. I'm telling you today, I wouldn't, I wouldn't, I wouldn't. I would not. I would not. uh-uh. No, no, no. Yeah, this is their karma. You know, and they have tried to find you certain things about you in people that they have dated. No one matches you. That you know, there's some specific things. They may have mistreated you and took you through that, but there have been some things about you that they just can't forget that nobody does like you. Now, I don't it might be sexual, you know, but it could be something simple. I don't know. Maybe you do certain things a certain way. Maybe you cook a certain way. Maybe you, I don't know, fold a blanket a certain way. It could be a lot of things. Maybe you play in their hair. Maybe you, I don't know, play with their ears. Maybe you cuddle back in the day with them different. It's specific things that they try to find, and they have tried to connect with other people, male or female. Okay. And maybe try to induce what things you used to do into new relationships, but guess what? Didn't work. You know, the new person they're dating, like, you want me to do what? You want me to do what? You know, because that was something that you did with them, you shared with them, and this could be anything. So wherever your mind just went, because it's different for everybody, that's what I'm talking about. It could have been something intimate. It could have been the way you cook. I don't know. It could be a fragrance, the way you wear your hair. It could be certain movies you like. Maybe you're funny. You tell jokes. You have a sense of humor. Maybe it's a special drink. You could be someone who's good with the bartender. You know how to make special cocktails. It could be a lot of things. It could be a lot of things. Okay. Y'all get y'all mind out the gutter. Go on and stay there. But later.